Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ilian in the Magic Box. Today on our show, we're going to have Kyle. Kyle is from Nashville in Tennessee in the USA. So let's see what Kyle has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello, Kyle. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, William?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Of course, I'm honored that you asked. I checked out your YouTube channel briefly. You have done a lot of this.
Yes,
Consistency is the key, man.
absolutely. So, tell me, how's your day going so far?
It's good. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. It snowed yesterday, but it's I just took I was at the gym, so I walked back. I don't know how many more opportunities I'm going to get to be outside in the sunshine. So uh, felt good. It's a beautiful day.
And Nashville is the place where you're born and raised?
It is. It is. I born here 1991. My father here from here originally. He moved away for 18 years. Met my mother in Tampa, Florida, and then they were trying to figure out. They thought they were going to maybe move to Atlanta, and then because my mom and dad had both lived there for like 10 years, and then my dad's mother got sick, and
Mm-hmm.
my dad is the oldest boy of seven children. So
Wow.
yeah. So and he was born in the 50s. So I think his father being a World War II veteran, um, the the hierarchy of families and things like the firstborn son, that sort of thing. I think there was that responsibility, which I don't. I'm an only child, so I don't know if that's still a thing, but I don't really feel like it is as much anymore. It seems like everybody, at least in the United States, it's kind of silly that families break up and disperse all across the country and have, five, six different mortgages when they could all realistically just like get a compound and split it all and help each other out. I don't know. Again, I'm an only child, so I don't know.
What's the biggest joy of living in Nashville, in your opinion?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really like being here
Okay,
right now.
okay.
That being said, Nashville is an amazing place. I grew up here. I loved it. But I came back to help my parents sell their home. I'm pretty good at picking stuff up and putting it down. And my dad's 75 now. My
Wow.
mom, I will not disclose her age, but uh, um, so I came back here and we sold the house in July, and I was
Yep.
supposed to go on a cross country road trip with my dog, and I brought a camper for my truck, and forked over the thousands of dollars. And then after I did that, they were like, "Oh yeah, we don't have any in stock, so we're gonna have to like build it for you, and that's gonna take 4 to 6 months." So I was kind of like, "Well, that was not, well, I wouldn't have given you my money if I knew that." So I'm still in Nashville, just working on growing my business. It kind of worked out. My family's um, working on buying a new home in a different state, so they're there right now. But I got myself a 3 bedroom apartment, so I have an office in my own bedroom and then a spare bedroom for when they're here. So yeah, I do love it. Nashville's a great place. I've lived in Colorado for a while, and I like the mountains more than I like, I don't know, country music and alcohol. Not that I
Amazing.
don't not that I don't enjoy a good libation from time to time, but
So let's
awesome.
start the interview talking about your business. So tell me how your journey started.
Yeah, so the Forge Fitness was really initially born out of or on a whim. I mean, fitness, lifelong passion. My program GH64, the natural transformation system, was built out of necessity. And then anecdotally, I got into grad school to receive a master of science in global real assets, which is essentially a fancy way of saying commercial real estate infrastructure finance.
Okay.
Getting more in the, leaning towards the private equity space, getting funding, building development, but it was all the financial side of it, not the, construction side of it. So that was in 2020. That was in like, I got admitted, I think April 2024, and then the program was to start in September of 2024. So there was like a 4 month window in there. And again, lifelong passion for fitness, but it was a full time program, where I worked in commercial real estate previously, as a
Okay.
broker, and was just trying to elevate myself to a more sophisticated, bigger money, essentially. Um, and I started this business, again, out of passion, but I was like, if I'm going to be working full time, I'm going to try this online internet thing out. I'd been, the algorithm, the way it works is you see one thing and you spend like an extra 5 seconds on it than anything else. And then that's all you see is stuff related to it. So I saw like a fitness business coach ad, and I just made an Instagram post basically saying that I was doing like just an announcement. And I found some developers based out of India that specialized in fitness apps. How I came
Okay.
across them, I couldn't really tell you. But the app was awesome. And when I made my initial post, so launched the business right off the bat, I got like a dozen clients like on the first 2 weeks, which I
Wow.
never expected. Yeah. And then the conversations I got to have with these people, because most of them were, friends or acquaintances, people that I had some form of past relationship with, um, and getting to kind of rekindle there and then help people in something that I like really, 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 really cared about. And I thought that everyone, like, I thought what I knew was just common knowledge. Anywho, so I deferred grad school because the business took off. Um, and that, here we are now. I was working during COVID. It kind of opened my eyes to again, working from home and remote stuff. So I was working full time as a commercial real estate broker, doing
Mm-hmm.
sale leasebacks and site selection across the country, while simultaneously I got hired on. I got asked by a commercial real estate fintech finance tech company to be a consultant for them. So
Yeah.
I was doing both of those simultaneously, and I was overworked, but I was like enjoying the process, and I was like, workouts something always been important to me. Had less time, had less of a window. So
Mm-hmm.
GH64 is growth hormones, so we leverage growth hormone naturally, but every session is 64 minutes or less. So
Right.
that's kind of where the name came from. I thought, two letters, two numbers, easy enough to remember.
Amazing. Okay, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey so far, okay?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Let's do it, William.
Amazing.
I'm
Welcome
ready.
to Ian in the Magic Box. So I have here my best
Uh-oh.
of random questions. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
Sounds good. You got it, man. I love it.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to answer, you don't want to talk about, always can change, okay?
Yeah, no worries.
Amazing. First question is, do you consider yourself to be a spiritual person and how?
The answer is yes. How? A little bit more of a complicated answer. I do have conversations with God. Uh, I try to every day. To say that I am perfect there would be a lie. I went to Catholic school for 12 years. I'm not a religious person. I know that's not the question, but I do have faith in God. And then more so on the spiritual side, I think just my ability to disconnect from kind of what's around me, and a lot of that happens in the gym during my warm up.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in Colorado. I mentioned, hippies out there, a lot of touch grass, get some sunlight, that kind of thing. I think just that silly stuff, for things that people scoff at, help bring me closer spiritually. And spiritually can mean with myself, as
Yeah.
well as with God. but in tune with the earth. I think music is a big thing that helps me kind of disconnect and then connect with myself internally, which I think of as spiritually. Realistically, I hadn't thought about how that much. So I know not the best answer, but that's what I got.
Not right or wrong. This what comes from your heart. Say
Yes,
that.
sir.
What's the biggest joy of being Kyle? What do you like the most about being you?
Honestly, I think my enthusiasm that puts smile on other people's face.
Yeah,
It's so easy to be kind to someone or give someone like a stranger a compliment, and it like their eyes light up, and maybe there's a part of me that does it selfishly because I've
mhm,
recognized how much, like, I have goosebumps talking about it right now.
amazing.
But I think my enthusiasm, my ability to stay grounded, in I've had my, we've all had our own turmoils. I'm no like everybody wants to pretend they're different or they're special. And
Yeah,
no offense, but like you're not. We're all humans. I think we're all equally in that.
yes,
And we've all dealt with our own, you know, sad, bad, shitty, whatever the word is, in our lives. So I think dealing with some of that stuff at a young age put a lot of things in perspective for me.
yeah,
So I don't get caught up in like bad, like, oh, it's shitty traffic. It's like, yeah, but it's my fault that I didn't leave earlier. Or, like you can't, the things you can't control, you can't control. So it's like, why get frustrated or upset about it? Focus
totally.
on what you can control. And that's what message I try to share with all my clients is this is like the effort you put in, and it doesn't mean going to the gym. It can be going outside and touching your toes and like
Uh-huh.
doing a one push up or something like that is a positive move that you can control. You can control what you put in your body 99% of the time. So,
Amazing.
control the things that you can. Don't get caught up in the BS around you. Like, it's not worth it. Life's too short. If you want to,
Totally.
own that all your problems are 95% your problem, like something
Yeah,
that you could have done differently. Obviously, there are external factors that you can't control. If people do wrong by you behind your back, whatever that may be, that's out of your control. But everything else, like, it falls on you. And that's my view on it all.
amazing. Next question. Let's do it.
I love it. Great questions, by the way. If you ain't spinning, you ain't winning.
Love it.
Yes, sir.
Next question is, if you could be in somebody's place or in somebody's skin for 24 hours for any reason, who that would be and why?
Okay. If I could be in somebody's what?
Place for 24 hours for any reason, who that
Like
would be?
if you and I were to swap places, is that what
Yeah,
you mean?
yeah.
Okay. Hey, buddy. Well, my dog just walked up. I'd always wanted to know what it'd be like to be my dog. He's
Uh,
no. So let me think on this one. I would like to switch places with my dog for like 2 minutes. Um, I'm really trying to think. There's man, maybe someone in history. You know, I
okay.
I I don't know. Not that envy is what you're asking, but I don't. There's no one in the world that I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. I mean, it'd be cool to be a professional athlete, I suppose. But I know since I'm a professional athlete, as far as I'm concerned, um, let's say King Henry.
Okay.
Um, I can't remember which King Henry, but I don't know. Some Spanish conquistador or something, traveling the world, going to the unknown, discovering, you know, the Aztecs or the Mayans. I don't know that it would also be a terrible time to be alive, like gangrene and living on a boat and all that stuff. But that's where I'm at right now.
As you mentioned dearly about your dog, so tell me, so far, what has been the most meaningful lesson you've learned from your dog?
Wow, wow. So that's a great question. Um, when I came back to Nashville, um, originally, I was planning on being here for 2 months. Pardon me. It's been almost 2 years now. But during my, 6 months into being here,
Mm-hmm.
something happened with two of my best friends that, one of those things that like was out of my control. And I felt so hurt and betrayed and confused. And I was like, and I was alone. Like, it's a convoluted, complicated story. But I felt very alone. Like the two guys that I confided in the most over the last like 5 years weren't in my life anymore. They are back in my life now, thank God.
Good.
Through thick and thin, bros. But that was a dark time. So I was like, my parents love me. Like they would have talked to me about anything. But I think, talking with your family is not the same. They're a little biased. They love you too much, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I adopted him, kind of as something for me to be present for outside of just myself. I've realized that I'll always like work out for myself, but I'm a pretty selfless person overall, which I think most people think I'm just like some cocky, arrogant prick, just based off of like how I look, which that's their problem. But he taught me how to love something other than myself. But how to, I needed some sense of external responsibility. Um, and at first I was like, what the hell have I done? This was like, I'm not cut out for this. Like taking poops all over the place. I was like, just cleaning up all the time. But now it's like, I thank God most evenings when we go to bed, he sleeps with me. And like in a sense, he really did save my life. Not that I was suicidal or anything, but there's no telling if I would, maybe still be in this state of depression and feeling alone and playing the victim or whatever. So I know, again, a long-winded answer here, but he brings me so much joy, and he reminds me. So his name is Eldrick, named after. So Eldrick is the real name of Tiger Woods, the golfer. His
Yeah.
first name is Eldrick, and one of my best friends passed away 14 years ago, 13 years ago now, I think. Yeah, that's crazy. But his name was Nicholas, and he would always come over to my house, and we had a cat. That was my grandparents' cat. When they passed away, we took the cat, and its name was Tiger. And Nicholas was a big golfer, so he would come over and he'd see Tiger and he'd call Tiger Eldrick. And I always thought it was so funny. And my dog Eldrick he's got brindle, what is almost looks like tiger stripes. It's like brownish bronze and black stripes. And I was trying to think of what to name him. And then yesterday, I have goosebumps again. I don't know if you can see that, but yesterday I was walking him, and Nicholas, my nickname for him was Curious George, one of the smartest guys, one of the most inquisitive guys, curious guys. No matter the topic, he wanted to learn about it. And Eldrick, he's so inquisitive. He's sniffing, but it's not like just food. He's like wants to check out everything. He wants to say hi to everybody. He's always looking out the window. I see a lot of commonalities, and it makes me feel closer connected to him, to Nicholas, and things like that. So yeah.
Beautiful. Love it. Next question. Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me what's the biggest joy of being a fitness coach? What do you like the most about it?
Yeah, so it's funny. I didn't I did this in person in college for like beer money. I refer to it as. And I hated everyone telling me their problems and feeling like a psychiatrist or psychologist. I was like, this is gonna make me hate working out myself. Like I gotta get away. But now, as much as my biggest goal is to help people find joy in this
Mhm.
process, it sucks like it's hard sometimes. It requires a level of discipline, and there's some sacrifice. But it can be your guiding light on the shittiest of days. Like, and it can also be grounding when you're at the top. Like, you close the big deal, you're super happy, you win the whatever. I don't know. But then you go work out and you're like, you know what? The weights put me in my place. And then when you're sad, like if you can like the gym or fitness, not just the gym, but your physical activity can be the highlight of your day. And that's what I want people to understand is like
Mhm.
I think it gets because there is discipline involved. Everyone's like, and all these other influencers come across, I think, pretty rigid. And it's like, do this, don't do that, blah, blah, blah. I just, there's a lot of middle ground. And there are ebbs and flows to life, and there can be ebbs and flows in your routine and your nutrition. So the greatest joy to me is helping people find that. And it doesn't happen overnight for a lot of people. But now, it is starting to happen with guys that were like hundreds of pounds overweight and they're not yes, the weight loss is great and they're looking 100 times better, but they're feeling so much better, their confidence is so much higher, their mental acuity, like they mentioned, their focus at work, like the days are going by faster because they're getting more done and they're not like bored and like, oh, I hate this type of thing. So it brings, I think it can make you happier, or it will make you happier, not can.
Amazing. Next question is, what has been the lowest point of your life?
I am so blessed in again having this perspective of going through shitty things at a younger point in life. The gentleman Nicholas I mentioned, I found him dead in my apartment. He had overdosed on
Ew.
drugs. Yeah, so I was like the one that called his dad
Oh
and
my God.
told him. Yeah, I was there when I'm the one that called 911. The EMTs came, they like told me I was responsible. I was like, I mean, that didn't like break me down because I knew I wasn't, but
Yeah.
resilience there. I went to all boys military boarding school.
So
uh,
thanks for sharing, Kyle, this story. I think, things happen for a reason. I think everything
Absolutely.
we go through times in our lives where, we don't have answers. Sometimes we got caught in those surprises that happen to you.
Hmm.
And in the end of the day, just life talking to you. I think it's life testing you and see
Hmm.
how you're gonna, react to situations. So thanks again.
For
I'm glad.
sure.
I'm glad that things are, somehow back to normal again, and you kind of
Yeah.
work on that. So thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Of course. Thank you.
3 questions left. Let's do it.
Three.
Before the next question, of course, Christmas is just around the corner. So tell me, what's the
Hmm.
meaning of Christmas for you? Do you like Christmas?
Oh, the meaning of Christmas. Well, there's the birth of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ from the Virgin Mary. I think that's at least in my world, that's what it's all based upon or and around is that, and reflecting, that God sent his only begotten son to save us from our sins. I know it wasn't what came out at the beginning of when he was born, but that's was the end game there. Family, love Harry Potter is a Christmas series as far as I'm concerned. Home Alone, um, A Christmas Story, a classic American movie about Christmas. Just family,
Yeah,
good food. I know this is kind of a cop out answer, but it's about celebrating the how blessed you are. I think in getting. I'm so fortunate that I love my family, and not just my mom and dad, but my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, like all pretty cool, special people. So,
yeah.
it's good to see them because I don't prioritize them realistically in my day to day life. Um, yeah.
Okay. Next question is, what's the best gift ever received, and why you consider that?
The best gift I ever received is actually this watch that I got for my 21st birthday. Um, it was what I asked for, which uh, not my dad once gave me a razor when I was like 14 and I got pissed. I was like, why are you giving me this? This is so dumb. I don't have facial hair yet. He's like, well, you need it. I was like, I hate you. Not really. I love my father. But That, and then I got a dog for Christmas. That was epic and not Eldrick. And last thing is I got a bench press set, which I need to find a picture of for social media. But I got that I think when I was 11. I've been into fitness since I was a little guy. It's obviously it started with sports and then evolved into women. Turns out women do not care. But yeah, I'd say the bench press, the weight set. I got some dumbbells, a bench press, and the watch.
Okay, good
Yeah.
list.
Yes, sir.
2 questions left. Let's do it.
You got it.
Okay, next
I
question
can
is
talk.
sorry. Okay, next question is
Mhm.
tell us about your guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure,
Yeah.
dubstep, drum and bass music, but music that like 99% of people don't
Uh-huh.
enjoy, or not people my age and not people in Nashville, Tennessee. That's it.
Which person in your life right now you feel more connected with or more close to right this moment?
Honestly, it's all my clients. Like like some of them I knew previously, but rekindling some of those relationships. But I am so hyper focused on my business and doing best by my clients right now. I like my other relationships have suffered, or in some capacity. Like I don't have a social life at all, which I've had plenty of a social life. Like I'm not missing out on anything. Every time I do something social, I'm kind of like, this is stupid. Like, why am I here? So I picked my battles. I take trips to go see my friends, which I'm doing this weekend. We're all meeting in Florida.
Mhm.
So I'm going to have a great time there. And that will bring us all closer together. But, in terms of, yeah, I mean, it's really my clients.
Okay, so your clients, they're watching this interview right now. When you have a moment, an opportunity to send them a message, what would you say? They're watching.
All your excuses are bull. Not one of them has been valid. To Alex Moore, a guy that I posted about, he has survived two forms of brain cancer. He is now going through a third unrelated form of blood cancer. And during this third cancer, he competed in a powerlifting competition. So, you're not special. Hate to burst your bubble, folks. Just do the things. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be ugly. You don't have to eat, like a bunny rabbit. You can have some flexibility. Just do the things and it will compound. You know, that's that. Also, I love you guys. I know you're all working hard. Just stop giving me excuses because that's how I feel. Bologna sandwiches.
Beautiful. Last
Yes,
question.
sir.
Let's do
Yeah.
it. Last one. Before
Yeah.
before the last question, Kyle, tell me what fitness has taught you so far in your life.
Oh God. That's an easy one, really. um, you know, that it's the one thing you can always control. You know, e- and it's like I discovered this, I think, subconsciously at a young age. But when I went to all boy military boarding school, I at first played the victim. I whined, I pouted, I was a little bitch about it, and then I realized I had this unique opportunity. I had better academics than I had at my school in Nashville. I had better facilities, which was like a monster gym, like a multi-million-dollar facility. I had better competition in sports arenas, where, and where I came from, there was a lot of politics in the coaching. I think there was like some hierarchy that was based off of who your parents were or something. I couldn't figure it out, but they, it was really tough, like transitioning, being hundreds of miles away from home and anyone that I knew. I didn't know anyone, but it was kind of, on my shoulders. I was the reason that I was going there, at the end of the day. And that, you can control your effort, and not just in the gym, but like in anything. And I think that's the biggest takeaway is, stuff is hard. talk thinking school, like I cared about what I cared about academically, not
Mhm.
the things that the school wanted me to care about necessarily. But when I failed a math class, and I had to like drop my ego and my pride and get a tutor. And when I got this tutor, or it was actually my teacher who just would meet with me outside of class, like we would get lunch, and she would teach me, especially. And I found the beauty in the process, working through the formulas, you know, formulaically. I don't know it through a process, and if there's a system, yeah, stuff is hard, but once you apply, the motivation comes from the effort. And I think that's the biggest thing is you do something more and more and more, especially when you something you really suck at naturally. Obviously, as you continue, you're going to grow and become more proficient at whatever that task is or whatever that thing is you're trying to accomplish. But with each time that you turn a new corner in that, you unlock, oh, that step in this formula makes total sense now. Like, I can't believe I was missing that. The flip switches, then you're motivated. You're like, oh, I can do this. Let's do the next thing. Then next thing you know, you're taking four more unnecessary advanced math classes. Not that I
Wow.
did that, but you could.
Okay, last question is tough question. If
Okay.
some if someone gave you an envelope with your death
Hmm.
date inside of it, would you open it or not, and why?
No, I'd probably throw some in it and roll it up and smoke it like a, yeah.
Okay.
Why not? No,
Oh my
I
God.
don't. I don't. I don't need to know that. That would be bad for me. Who
Yeah,
knows? Who knows what I would do?
I agree. I think I'll be very tempted as well. However, I wouldn't be able to. I think it'll change
Yeah,
my route of life for sure.
yeah.
For
That's
me.
why said I had to burn it, so then it wouldn't be a temptation.
Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to say some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Okay,
Hmm.
right.
All right.
One word for money.
Freedom,
Fear.
perseverance,
Family.
everything,
Life.
death,
Love.
unconditional love,
Religion.
mm, no good.
Sex.
Yes, please.
Politics.
Up there with religion,
Friendship.
everything
Desire.
is nothing without a plan.
Regret.
I don't know what that means.
I like it. Success.
In progress.
Wish.
Pray.
Happiness.
Me.
What's your star sign astrology, Kyle?
I don't know.
When
You
you're
tell me.
when you're
I
born?
was January 18th.
Not sure.
Yeah, me neither.
One word for happiness.
My goodness. Uh, me.
Oh yeah, you said before. You said before.
I know. I was like,
I got that. I got that with your answer about.
that
Got it.
was funny. We both forgot.
I love it. One word for Nashville.
For Nashville,
Yeah.
pretentious,
One word for USA.
freedom,
One word for fitness coach.
a necessity for most people.
Let's see if I'm gonna say the name of your business right. They forget for say that. What's the name of your business?
Yeah, that's good. So it's the forged. Like the D is you got to earn the D, and that sounds a little bit
Forged.
ridiculous, but it's your forged. Your forged forge, forging, and then you're forged with the D, so past tense. The Forged Fitness.
Okay, so one word for that.
Passion.
Beautiful. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your
Yeah.
best friend, define Kyle in one positive and one negative word only. What your best friend would say about you.
The negative would be scatterbrained. The positive would be encouraging.
Beautiful. Let's play now Kyle in the magic box, and you can ask me a question, but before that, let's play the music one more time. I want to see you dancing again. Let's do it.
All right.
I'll make a clip of you dancing. I'm going to share on social media.
Cool. I'm down. Let's do it.
Right. So before you ask me the question, since we start, your online coach, yeah, or sorry, your fitness coach, tell me a situation that, you hold close to your heart, something that happened or a feedback from your client or anything simple that you're going to go like, you know what, I will hold that close to my heart.
Yeah, and this is not a single. I mean, it doesn't happen with everyone, but when it does happen, that's what's most special. And it's when people trust not just me, but trust in me, trust in themselves that they can do it, and trust the process because it doesn't happen overnight. Like you're not gonna like. I can personally make amazing transformations, but I've been doing this for 20 years personally. So like I know exactly how my body responds, and I'm not ever gonna be like fat, you know? So you've got to trust the process, especially if you haven't done this before. Once you achieve your goal or you make real progress one time, then it's like eureka, I can do this. And like I can go back and forth, when times are when I'm busy. But it's the single word there is trust, and it's trust in yourself, trust in me, that my only goal is to help get you where you want to be, and then trust the process. Those three, just trust. That's
Wow.
really it.
Okay, you can ask me a question now.
Are you ready to get in the best shape of your life, William?
Oh my God, yes, I'm ready.
Yeah. How often do you get asked after you interview someone, are you ready to be my client?
Actually, over 1,000, maybe 500 interviews. Nobody asked me this question. I had so many
No
fitness.
way.
You are the first one, yes. So I
That
should
is
be.
mind-boggling.
So I should become your client, or I should get a session for free.
Yeah. I will give you some free workouts for sure. We can talk about it off camera. I am not trying to pressure you into anything you don't want to do. But I can't. I was like, the second you texted me that, I was like, oh, that's easy. Because you were like, think about the question you're going to ask. And I was like, are you ready to be my client? Like, that blows my mind that other people didn't ask you that. And the thousands that you've done of this, that's crazy.
Yeah, nobody asked me this question direct, like the way you did. I love it.
Well,
Amazing.
I do have a separate question if I can ask one more.
Of course you can.
Assuming that you're passionate about people, this is pretty impressive what you've done. Like in looking through your catalog, like, dude, that's a lot. Consistency is everything. But what brought you, like, what makes you tick? Like what makes you want to get out of the bed in the morning with a smile on your face? Because you've been very smiley. I can see that you're having fun. It makes me have fun. Like I've got goosebumps for the third or fourth time. And I don't know if the camera can see any of this, but it's real, man. And I place so much value in, like I mentioned in this interview, encouraging, uplifting. All you got to do is smile, give someone a compliment. So I'm gonna shut up now. But what gets you going? Makes your juices flow.
Thanks for the compliments. Thanks for the
Yes, sir.
energy. And trust me, here it's a mural. I couldn't have this energy now on the show, feeling your energy as well. I think it's amazing. So my answer for you is gonna be very, very easy. People. I love people. I think I'm fascinated by people. I think people, you learn from people, you connect with others. I think it's all about learning, sharing, teaching. It's all about that. I think for me, people it's the main reason I'm here. So every interview I
Yeah.
do, I learn something new. I feel something new. This energy coming through the video is just amazing. I feel the luckiest
Yeah.
person to be sitting
Yeah.
here and connect with people around the globe. So people is my big inspiration for me to do the show for sure. That's my answer for you.
Yeah. Good. I think it's a great answer. And if I may, I know we've got a jet for time, but I was shooting a video yesterday, and I was talking about how I learned to stretch from a young woman. And I've given unsolicited advice before to people at the gym who were like very clearly doing like things the opposite of the way they should have been. And again, my goal is just to help. But these guys, like the egos, like I think people are so turned off by like, oh, this guy, like he's got negative, like real end goal and saying this to me. And it's just like, dude, I can learn from a squirrel
Yeah,
on how to crack a nut better and not be like, yay, I can now do this efficiently. Like, I don't know. I love people,
yeah.
and you can learn from anyone. You've just got to be open minded about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Or approachable as well. Open mind,
Yes,
approachable.
sir.
It's the way to be for sure. Did you enjoy the
Absolutely.
interview?
I did. I did. This was a lot of fun. It was different. I've never done anything, in this capacity of it being more personal and not
Amazing.
just about fitness and stuff, which I, last thing is I've always loved fitness, but I didn't go into this, you know, right out of high school or out of college because I didn't want to be pigeonholed as the fitness guy. I wanted to be I wanted fitness to be a part of my life, not my entire life. So I thought I had to go into like wealth management and investment advisory and investment sales and all these things in finance and business. And it turns out, I still get to be the businessman because I do run a business and I get to help people in unlocking things because it's more than just, you said coach, and not to like this is not a this is, I'm being nitpicky, but I don't look at myself as a coach. I look at
Mhm.
myself more as an advisor. I work with some pretty high level, smart, very successful people, and they trust me. It's crazy that the people that don't listen or the people that don't trust and implement and the people that have the most pushback are the people that are so far removed from where they want to be that they second guess everything and they shoot themselves in the foot. And then the guys that are mega successful and have workout history and stuff, they listen and implement and they trust, like no questions asked. And it's just crazy how that's the reality. Some people just can't help but get in their own way.
Amazing. Kyle,
Yeah,
once
dude.
again, for your time. I know we are so busy with our lives nowadays, and when someone take their time for us, is precious. So I appreciate your time, appreciate your energy, appreciate your great vibe. Thanks again. And
Yes, sir, William.
before you go, if you could just can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Yeah. I'm gonna revert back to trust.
Hmm.
Trust yourself. Trust that, in a world of so much negativity, so much so much terrible stuff, we see every day in the news, or if you I don't watch the news, but have faith, if it's not in God, have it in yourself. Find some sense of spirituality. Again, I said religion, not my thing, but I do believe in God. And I'm going to wind it out here with, you know, if you're having a bad day, you're like everybody's has bad days. The world is not going against you, it's testing you. It's up
Yeah,
to you to persevere. No one is coming to save you. I mean, I do my best, but at the end of the day, everybody's going to most likely put themselves first and they're always going to do what benefits them. You've got to do that for you. And as long as you do that with a sense of integrity, morality, and ethics, I think you're doing great. So, don't let the law hold you back. Just be a good person.
beautiful, beautiful. Mate, thanks so much. Regards to your family,
Yeah,
friends.
man. I look forward to keeping our relationship intact and moving forward together.
Take care,
Right on,
okay?
William. Thanks,
Bye.
man. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.